Hey folks, it's Janet Miranda with Motivations TV. I'm really excited to be here today with Mike Provenzano. Mike, welcome to Motivations.
Hi, Janet. Thanks for having me today.
Really excited to chat with you today and tell the world a little bit about what it is that you do.
Well, I am first and foremost, I'm a father of four boys, and I'm an actor, model, spokesperson, voiceover artist now.
And you've also just founded a really cool film festival.
That I did. Gabby Faye and I have started the From a Distance Film Festival, which we created to do two things: to bring joy to others around the world while we're all in this quarantine time through the films that we have on our site, and to give filmmakers, their cast and crew, the opportunity to share the work that they've done because they can't do the traditional film festivals right now.
That's pretty amazing of you to give back so much. What made you want to do this?
Well, at the beginning of all of this quarantine, actually right before it started, I got lucky enough to do one job about surgical masks physically for this for the quarantine, and then right after that, I ended up doing two online projects. One was a 48-hour film, short film project, and then one was an Instagram series. And after doing those, I was like, that was really fun. But I wanted to become a conduit for helping others create. So a friend of mine, Rich Henkels, and I spoke, and I said, hey, I want to create stuff where we can get actors acting during this quarantine time. And I want to bring joy to people around the world to watch what we create. And it was real simple. So when I did that, or when we started that from a filming perspective, we shot a Zoom for Actors project that was pretty funny, where we had a bunch of actors using Zoom for the very first time. So we made all the mistakes that everyone else has gone through using Zoom. And then from there, we decided to create another episode called Quarantine Island. And through that, I kept my creative hat on, and I said, hey, I want to do something else. So I asked one of the actresses that was involved, Gabby, and said, hey, do you want to do something separate from Quarantine Island together? And she goes, oh, let me think about it. So it was her idea to come up with a film festival. And so I loved the idea, and I said, okay, let's run with it. And then we basically created this online festival. And for me, the goals are real simple. I didn't want people have to worry to have to spend money to join. All I wanted it to do was to be fun for people to watch and give people a voice, so to speak. And I said, no other rules other than, like, it's 12 minutes long. It's not graphic, or no porn. All right. For the festival. And that was it. We had really simple rules. And the cool part from it was we have 62 short films that made it into our festival. And it's been going great. We just feel blessed that we got to where we did. I had no expectations because I never ran a film festival before. And even what we did, instead of a typical festival would have a panel of judges that kind of watches everything, and then they would announce who they picked. And I even said, I don't want to do that. Let's make it even easier. Let's let the world vote on who their top favorites are. So that's what we decided to do. So we made it clear to everybody that, we're the conduit for this. Let's let everyone else enjoy it. And even the voting process it takes you away from the quarantine issues of the day that you're dealing with. And
Very, very strategic mindset in planning this. And you put a lot of strategy and effort, and you said a really key word there. You had some very specific goals. Can you tell us a little bit about where you got the structure and the discipline for goals?
Absolutely. In my corporate job, I was in the technology business, and I ran operations for multiple companies over my corporate career. And the last, corporate job that I had, we had a system by which we created goals annually and then we broke them down by quarter, and then we reviewed them every week. And that's really what got me so focused on goal setting. And about 2 years ago, I decided to do that in this business. I mean, in the acting business, in my opinion, you have to treat it like a business, just like everything else. And it takes effort to grow. So I set small goals for myself. And my friend Rich, who I'm involved with the Quarantine Island Job project, he and I did it together. And the cool thing about what we did is we created goals for the year individually, and then we created them quarterly. And then every week, him and I would have a phone call about how it's going on the goals we set for this quarter specifically. So we would hold each other accountable. And that's really the foundation for me anyway, for goal setting. And it makes a difference. And when you set goals, no matter how big or how small they are, you feel good when you achieve them. And that, I think, has a big impact on your psyche up here, even in this quarantine time.
With that being said, do you set like SMART goals, or what does your goal template look like? Can you describe that for our viewers?
Sure. I have goals based on categories. So I have sales goals for how much I want to achieve in a quarter. I'll have the types of projects that I want to work on. I'll have education and learning for myself as an actor, and I'll have some marketing goals that I create for myself. And within those broader goals, I'll create tactics underneath those. So if I have a goal of
when you say tactics, are those action items?
Yes, correct. They're action items that help you achieve the goal itself, right? So if I have a goal of let's just say I have a goal of being a lead in five short, or being a principal in let's say 5 short films over a quarter. Inside of that, well, I have to submit for projects. I need to reach out to people to get an interest in me. So there's a lot of steps that go into that. I have to submit you have to submit for them. So you have to do the research and go out and find them. You have to brand yourself for the roles that you want to play. So no matter what type of work you're doing, we all set goals. And I have goals in my house. I want to have a clean garage. Well, that everybody has that same goal if you have a garage, right? But you kind of never get to it.
So let's take that as an exploratory for our viewers for a moment and say, you want to have a clean room. Let's do a room because most people have a room, most people.
Okay.
Let's say they want to have a clean closet or a clean room. Let's keep it small and simple.
Okay.
What are some of what are the next steps?
Well, imagine your end result of what your room is going to be, right? So when you say a clean room, don't just keep it to clean. Keep it to, how do you want it furnished? How do you want the look? If you use your bedroom as an example, because I think most people have a bedroom, do you need a new bed? Do you need to paint the walls? Do you need any type of art that you want to put up? Do you want to organize? Do you want to put up a ceiling fan because you don't have one and it's warm in your room? So you write down all the things that you want, right? Now there's needs and there's wants. There's two different things. But if you make a list of all the things you want to do with your bedroom, maybe you want to change the flooring and you want to put carpet in, or you want to put hardwood in instead of what you currently have. Build your list and then start to chip away at it. So if you just say, I want to have an organized bedroom, well, that's a real general statement, right? There's no hard what you did at the end of the day, right? Now, granted, at the end of the day, you go, wow, I love my bedroom. Well, it takes a lot of actions to get to where you really want to be, even though it's just a bedroom, right? So you write down everything you do. And the one thing I learned a long time ago was when you build a list and you write it down, don't use a pencil or a pen to cross it off. Take a highlighter and highlight once you complete it, because you can still read what you did. And I can tell you as an actor that a lot of people don't celebrate their successes the way they should. And as an actor, you need to celebrate even your little successes. And a little success is something as simple as an audition or a callback. They're all successes, whether you book a role or not. And so if you highlight the things that you complete, you feel good about it. But you have to keep this list somewhere where you can see it, right? When you create a list of everything you want to get done, you can free your mind up, because now you're not worrying about, hey, what did I know I wanted to do something, but I can't remember what it is. If you have a place that you just go back, and if you think of something, write it down and just have one list. Don't do the old time day planner where I write it down today and then I didn't do it, so I got to flip the page and I got to write it down again. Don't do that. That's you spend more frustrating time writing. Where if you just have a list of all the things you want to do, write them down and just highlight them as you complete them. If you want to start a new page, great.
With that being said, can you differentiate for our audience and our viewers, what's the difference between a goal list and a to-do list?
Okay, so there's not that big of a difference, but if you want to think of a goal list, the goal lists are the big things that you want to accomplish. So I have a goal of being a principal actor on Hallmark Channel, right? That's a goal. But the to-do list to get there is to market myself, to go out and do some additional legit work on TV and film, because I've done a lot of commercial work. And so that's different. Where if we go back to the bedroom scenario, my goal is to have a bedroom that I love, right? That's a goal. But the to-do list is all the next actions to get to that end result. So your goal is your end result, and your to-do list is your journey to get there.
Now, taking that and everything that you just said into how you flipped into this online film festival in such little time. How did you make that happen in such little time? And for the viewers that haven't really got to know you that well, can you share how long it took for you to actually launch and now have 62 films online in your festival?
Well, we did everything ourselves. So we came up with the idea, and we started to build a website, which I've never done before. So
that was a to-do, right?
To-do was to learn how to build a website. So thankfully, I have a Wix website, and I know a little bit about manipulating my own website, but I didn't know how to start. So I learned a long time ago, steal shamelessly and often. I haven't heard that term before. Use it, because if someone else has created, you don't have to recreate the wheel just because you need a wheel, right? So I went and looked at what some other festivals did, and that's how I designed our website. And it took some trial and error to get it to where I wanted it to be. But as soon as it probably took less than a week from the idea to launch.
For the entire festival, it took a week to do a film festival? I mean, that's amazing.
Because there's what did we have to do? We had to create a website that was, hey, we're here, right? Which probably took up a decent amount of time. We had to come up with a naming of it, which I would never take credit for. Gabby did that, which was awesome. And we kind of shared back and forth what we were going to do. And as soon as we created the site and we just hit go, we both started sharing it to our friends. And that probably took more time than anything else.
But you and your partner were able to build momentum and get everything started within 7 days. And a lot of that has to do with your discipline and your goal strategy that you got from the corporate world.
No, absolutely. It was when you set your mind to something and you're serious about it and you focus on what you want to do, you can get anything done. It takes effort, there's no doubt, and it takes time, and it takes you away from other things you may want to be doing or could be doing. But we felt that this would really promote I'll use the word goodness, but we were really, like I said earlier, our goal was only to bring joy to people around the world. And I feel that we're doing that. We've got, one of the films is from London, another one is from Paris. So we can say we're international.
Amazing. It's amazing. Congratulations on all your success. With the goal setting, would you say that it's similar to visualization and really manifesting something into creation through just putting it out there, putting some energy into it, birthing the thought, and then really producing all of the events that trigger after that?
Absolutely. And for me, goal setting is a basic. And when you run operations for companies, you have to be able to delegate, number one, but you have to be able to take action, and you have to be someone that's willing to do the work to get something done. And there's sometimes when you rely on someone else to do something, and there's times you rely on yourself to do things. And but when you put your mind to something and you set a goal for yourself, don't let anything distract you from it. Or if you get distracted for a period of time, just have something to remind you to get back on it. Put a deadline to yourself and hold yourself accountable.
Now, things haven't always been so easy for you, Mike, right? Like you didn't have the easiest childhood. Things weren't given to you on a silver spoon.
Mhm.
It took you a little bit to learn how to get to where you are today. Can you give us a little history of Mike Provenzano?
Sure. Well, I'm a brother. I have three brothers and a sister. And when we were about 5 years old, my mom left us, and so it's just my dad, trying to support all of us. And he worked nights, and God rest his soul. Hey, Dad. And he just, he couldn't handle kids at our age. It was just tough because he was working all night long, and then trying to handle 7, 8, 9-year-old kids is pretty tough. I do it now. I understand the feel. I understand what he went through. So we were in a foster home called Beth Anna for about 3 years or 4 years, from 1976 to 1980. Sorry, I'm dating myself a little bit. But we were with 40 other kids, and I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it as a part of who I am and where I came from, and all that. And I still have friendships that I still maintain to this day from kids that I met when I was 9 years old.
And how did that mold you as the man that you are today, successfully launching film festivals in a week, successful actor, successful corporate tech, person who's, ran businesses. Now, looking back, hindsight to that 8 or 9-year-old kid, when you had dreams of becoming someone, did you think then that you would be this successful person that you are today?
I when I think back, I don't think I had any idea what I was going to be like in life. I never had that. Well, what am I going to do one day? But what I did have was drive, and I think part of it was I was very athletic when I was younger, and I always I worked hard, I played hard, I studied hard, and while my studies might have been a little challenging at times, my athletic ability was strong, and I took that into adulthood, and I saw the things that I was able to accomplish when I focused, and that kind of rolled into my business career.
But here you are giving back to the world the way that you are, giving back to the people in your field the way that you're doing with your film festival. And to quote you, it's just to give goodness out there. And you're not one of those guys that are blaming your childhood for whatever experience that was difficult. And because of that, you had a negative desire for other people. Instead, you want to do good. You want to bring goodness. So how is it that you're so good and there are folks that have experienced similar situations and they can't say the same?
Well,
What kept you in that good light?
I can say that my family had a big impact on me, and I lived with my aunt and uncle for a number of years, and they were true role models for me. And then they both have passed away since, but they were there for me every step of the way. And I then I became a dad, and when I became a dad, that there's nothing more
Rewarding.
enjoyable or rewarding than being a father. And that's I love that I get to do or be a part of their lives every day. And that's just who I am. I enjoy it immensely. But I really like helping people, and that's something that even in the acting world, I toy around, to be honest with you. What do I like more? Do I like acting more, or do I like helping people more? And I love the fact that as an actor, you meet different people on every set you go to. And when I'm there, I kind of break the ice and talk about my goal setting and all that stuff, and I help inspire. And people have told me that I've inspired them to take action for themselves, and just by sharing the things I do. And we spoke earlier, and I told you that I set a goal for myself of submitting to about 30 projects a week. And before the quarantine, I was doing that religiously. And people were like, "Wow, really?" And it's like, yeah, it's when you focus on stuff and you treat this like a business, you can go any direction. You can do whatever you want. And that's, so when I share that with people and then I hear back from them about, hey, I booked something because of blank, it's more rewarding than the work I get to do myself.
Now, speaking about that a little bit, and just, with your acting career, I know you said that you had some goals to be on specific channels and to do certain things, but is your acting, what does it do for you every time you're in front of the camera, and how'd you get into it?
Yeah, it was weird. I love being on camera now. It's just a feeling that you get when you get the opportunity to do it. And I got into it kind of by, I'll tell you a little quick story. When I was in my 20s, that it was something I wanted to do. But I didn't have the confidence. I was a shy kid, and I didn't have the life experiences that I have now. So it's about 4 years ago. I was working for a friend of mine who was in the construction business, and he had a design firm that he had purchased, and I was helping him clean up his computer systems and all that stuff. So when I was leaving, the guy that came with his design firm said, "Hey, I'm an acting instructor, and you should go check this school out." And I said to him, "I kid you not," I said, "Are you going to smoke up my ass?" And he goes, "No, no, 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 for real." And so I went to a school, and was in there at an open call with about 50 people, and the director looked around the room and said, "We're going to invite 4 of you to our school." And I just was lucky enough to be one of the 4, or blessed enough to be one of the 4. And after I completed the school, I got signed by an agency in the Philly area, and just took off from there. And I'm somebody that, because I really want to do this, and because I've learned in the past that when you have something that is worth sharing, you have to figure out how to share it. And that's the hard part. Is you can call yourself the best secret, or the best unknown secret, or the best kept secret with anything in life. And until people know about it or know about you, how are you going to get anywhere? And that's tough. And people need to understand that it's not the chances of just starting and being successful. Can it happen? Absolutely. But in most businesses, that's not the case. Most businesses, it takes time to build your brand, to build yourself up, to build up sales, to grow. And that's no different in this business.
You look at your acting gigs as sales, it seems like, right?
I look at them as fun. I really do feel blessed that I get to do this. And I have fun on every set that I go to. I've never have I had a bad experience at all. I had one experience where I didn't know what I was walking into for the first time, but at the end of the day, it was a great experience for me. And I was being given referrals to other agencies in the New York market that day, And but I was new at it, and I didn't know what I was doing. And that's the thing that I feel blessed about the most is, and I think that's part of the reason I enjoy giving back, is because I got to where I am not because of everything I've done, but because other people have helped me along the way as well. And it's, you heard that term, pay it forward. I believe it, and I genuinely love to help people. So when I started doing infomercials, I became more comfortable on camera because I was doing, I was repeating work with the same clients. And part of the reason that I became successful doing that is because a lot of people aren't professional in this industry, and so they show up late.
Professional in this industry, you're saying?
Yeah, because they show up late. They don't bring enough wardrobe. The list is long as to why people aren't. But when they see somebody that is, it's like, and you're easy to work with and all that stuff. The clients that I do repeat business with, they're all used to me showing up an hour early. I bring too much wardrobe, and so they know that's I'm going to bring that. And then they started asking me to do testimonials. So then I started to get more comfortable on camera speaking, which is a great feeling. And then I just started to, as you get more comfortable on camera, it's obvious. So when you go into an audition, if you're nervous or whatever the case may be, the camera doesn't lie, right? And when you're not worried about, man, I have to book this job, or when you're worried about that, it shows. When you're not worried about that, it doesn't. And the more comfortable you get, the more relaxed you are when you walk into an audition. And I've been blessed enough to do some national and international projects over the last 2 years. And even this year, in February, I did a national commercial that got put on hold because of the quarantine. But as soon as it's lifted, it'll be airing like crazy. And it's really cool to it's cool to see yourself, but it's cool when your kids see yourself on TV. But it's fun to get to do this because I love doing it. And even it was for Ferguson is the name of the company. They're a company that does appliances and plumbing fixtures for homes and commercial places. But their stuff's pretty high end. And when we were done, we shot for 5 days down in Virginia. And it was me, a woman that played my wife, and we had a son and daughter. And we made it so much fun for ourselves that at the end of it, they're like, man, we never saw a family get together that actually looked like a real family the way you guys were. And we can't wait to see what it looks like on set.
Then you did the job well, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're here talking with you about how you broke into the business, and we did talk about the ups and downs with not always being successful in getting the jobs because there's a lot of competition and so on. But how does a father, how do you take care of your kids during the time when you don't have a definite salary that's coming in? Does that stress you out, or do you just create your goals and know you're going to make it anyway?
I'd say both. It stresses you out at times because you're always worried about making sure that you can take care of your family, and that comes first and foremost. So I do worry a little bit about from time to time, but I also, I'm very good at leaving work at work and leaving home at home, or vice versa. So when I walk out the door to go to an opportunity, it's my opportunity to lose, right? And that's how I look at it. And I go after it. If I'm the right fit, great. If I'm not the right fit, great. I went in and I did everything that I could do to show the client that I could be the best fit that they need. And when you have that attitude of I can solve their problem with my skills and my look. Now, my look may not be even close to what they want, right? Because in the acting world, the casting people all have an idea of what they're looking for. And when they find it, boom. Like I said, I stay focused on why I'm doing this. My goal in life is to support my kids and my family as an actor full time. That's what I want to do, and I'm not going to stop at anything until I'm there. But the one thing that I enjoy is is the journey. It's not I'm not I'm going to be a Hallmark principal one day. Okay. I don't know when it's going to be, but that's going to happen one day. But it's going to take time before I get there. So I need to enjoy the entire process, the entire journey that I'm on. And I do. And I just feel that I got into this at the right time in my life. And that's why I'm where I'm at now.
You're like a real inspirational story for so many people who have really had that thirst to want to get into something later in their life, but were maybe afraid. And you are the typical inspirational story of, yes, you did it. You changed careers midlife, and here you are, successful, doing commercials, doing television, doing film, doing all these things that, it's never too late.
And you said that right. It's never too late. I mean, if you have a dream, it doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter anything. Just if you have a dream, go after it. You'll never achieve a dream if you don't try. And like I said, it wasn't. If you would ask me 5 years ago if I was going to be an actor now, I would have said no way, because it wasn't. I mean, maybe it was all the way back here, forgotten about. But when guy Dwayne said it to me, I was like, wow, I never thought of that.
That's amazing, Michael. It's amazing. Now you transferred from, you went from a corporate technology field to a completely creative field. Now, do you ever feel like you want to go back? Do you regret making any of the changes? And how did you get over the fear of shifting into this new field?
Well, I don't ever want to go back. I already know that because I really, really love what I do now. And I would go back if this didn't work out. But like I said before, I feel blessed that I get to do this, and I'm pushing hard to continue doing this. This is something that I want, and I feel that I got into it at the right time in my life, and I'm just going to continue pushing forward with it.
Now,
Sorry, give me that.
for those folks out there who have some dreams and they have fears of transitioning over into something they really want to do, because you said you wanted to do this since you were 20, you just didn't have the chance to do it until now. It just fell into your lap. It kind of felt very synchronistic, where you were at a job and an acting coach came and spoke to you. It was almost like your calling in a way. So with folks that have the same kind of calling, whether it's to be a basketball player, to be a football player, to be an astronaut, whatever the dream is, or whatever that fire is within, and they really want to, or something is pulling them to it, but there are life circumstances that keep them or prevent them from moving forward. What kind of tips can you give them?
Well, if
From
you
your own
have,
experience, of course.
sure. If there's something you want in life, it's not going to be handed to you, and you need to understand that for the most part. So if you want to do something, take control of what you want. Go after it. Focus what you want to accomplish, and set goals to get there. Now, it may take you time. It may not happen overnight. It may take years before you have the opportunity to go in the direction you want to. But whatever it is that you want to go after, write it down. Set a goal for yourself. Put it on your wall so you have something big and bright that you look at every day that says, all right, that's where I'm going. That's where I plan to go. That's where I want to be. Because if you don't, you'll get older and you'll regret that you didn't go after what you wanted to do, whatever your dreams may be. It doesn't matter what they are. If your dream is to be an astronaut, well, get some go do the research and what it takes to become an astronaut. But don't try to take any shortcuts to get there. We all have to do the hard work to get to where we want to go. Do the work, but you put the time in. Understand that you are going to have to pay your dues, and we all do that no matter what career we go after, because you don't start in a career and know everything when you start, right? That just doesn't exist. You have to learn, but be willing to learn by others. Listen to what others have to say, and but stay focused, stay genuine, stay who you are, but be humble. And when you're humble, you'd be amazed at how many people want to see you succeed. They want to help you succeed.
And that's how you build your team and find your way. And those people kind of, and you were able to build a film festival in a week. I'm still like totally shocked that you did that. Mike, I'm so super happy that you were able to join us and give our viewers such informative tips on creating goals and really manifesting forward, leaping towards the things that they want and living their dreams. Thank you for tuning in and watching our show. We hope you truly enjoyed it. And if you missed any of our previous episodes, be sure to watch them on our YouTube channel.
Be sure to follow us on all our social media pages and contact us today. We'd love to hear from you.
Like us on Facebook and tell us your thoughts about the show. We want to hear from you.
Follow us on Instagram and leave a comment about today's show.
Tweet us what topics you would like for us to discuss in the future on Twitter.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Hit that little bell so you can get the instant notifications on when our exclusive content is released.
We can't wait to hear from you.